I think astrology, for lack of a better term, is complete horseshit. Last year, I coined the term Barnum's baddies in reference to astrology girls because for some reason, every astrology girl that I meet is drop dead gorgeous, but they fall victim to the Barnum Effect. The Barnum Effect is basically just saying that, hey, astrology, tarot card readings, personality tests, and things of that nature are complete bullshit because the responses you get are in fact vague and could apply to literally anybody. While I'm positive there's some characteristics of people that trend from place to place. People from New York are stereotypically extremely rude, or people from Baltimore stereotypically drag out the you whenever they say anything. That's fair, but a lot of the stuff you see about astrology and all that bullshit from these accounts on Twitter and from these apps on your phone is going to be complete and utter like just bull. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. 11/11, you want to make a wish. My wish is that I want to go to Disneyland and meet all the Avengers in person. I was researching for this video and I saw a horoscope that said Pisces only sleep when they're absolutely tired. And I was like, well, what the fuck does that mean? The Barnum Effect is manifested in response to statements that are called Barnum statements, meaning general characterizations attributed to an individual are perceived to be true of them, even though the statements are such generalizations they could apply to almost anyone. This is how a lot of people find that, hey, this daily horoscope reading still applies to me. That palm reading I got 2 weeks ago was really good for me, even though I gave them a whole bunch of my life information before we started. You agree with these statements because they're broad enough to fit you in, but vague enough to single you out. And if you truly believe that's how you are as a person, then you are also more susceptible to just believing this description blindly. And even if you don't agree with this description, you may still assimilate with this description just because that's how it's said you are supposed to be. In 1947, psychologist Ross Stagner asked his personnel managers to take a personality test. Instead of responding with feedback based on their actual individual answers, he presented each of them with generalized feedback that had no relation to their test, but that was instead based on horoscopes, graphological analysis, among other things. More than half described the assessment as accurate. Nobody described it as wrong. In 1948, Barnum conducted a classic experiment dubbed the diagnostic interest blank. 39 of his students were required to take a test, and they were all told that they were supposedly getting a brief response based on their test results. In actuality, they all received the same responses that were from a newsstand astrology book. On a scale of 0 to 5, the students rated its accuracy on average at 4.3. Only after the ratings were revealed was it then revealed to the students that they all received the same responses and that it was from an astrology book. The responses contained statements that were vague and general enough to apply to most people, just like he had hypothesized. The Greeks and Romans believed that the stars were gods, so I don't see why people in the modern age shouldn't be able to do it as well, apart from modern science. Women catch the ick from seeing men catch a runaway ping pong ball. Men don't get the ick, but if we were to get it, it would surely be from astrology.